Ari Gemini, let's talk about 2026. Because if you're a Gemini, this year is shaping up to be one of the most transformative you've seen in decades. So in this explainer, we are breaking down exactly why. 77. Just let that number sink in. That's how many years it's been since Uranus, the planet known as the Great Awakener, was last in your sign. The world was a completely different place back then, so its return in 2026, yeah, that's setting the stage for something truly monumental. And this really brings us to this central question of the year, a question that Uranus itself is basically asking you. See, it's not just about what happens to you, it's about who you emerge as on the other side. This is the core theme we're going to be exploring. So let's dive into our first section, all about this once-in-a-lifetime transit. And I want to be clear, this is not some fleeting influence. This is the start of a whole new 7-year chapter for you. You're going to want to circle this date on your calendar, April 25th. Uranus is going to be in your sign for 7 whole years. That's long enough to completely change your career, your personal style, even the city you call home. Now, here's the deal. Transformation is coming. That part's not up for debate. But you do get to choose the pace. You can be proactive, quit that job that just isn't you anymore, or you can wait for circumstances to make that decision for you. The one thing you can't choose is to stay the same. And this all builds into what is, no exaggeration, the most important cycle of the decade for you. We're talking about a profound shift in your personal identity. Now, I know that can sound a little dramatic, and you know what? In many ways, it will be. But I love this quote because it reframes the whole idea perfectly. The drama isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just life, the universe, whatever you want to call it, pushing you to live more fully, to evolve, to actually happen. And here is the absolute crucial point. As a Gemini, you have mastered the art of adaptation. You know how to be what any situation requires of you. But Uranus, it's not interested in your adaptation. It's asking a much, much deeper question. Who are you when no one's watching? When you don't have to be anything for anyone? It's a huge invitation to find a more authentic self, way beyond anyone's expectations. This isn't all going to happen overnight, like flipping a switch. The initial entry in April kicks things off, and then you've got an adjustment period that lasts until July. Then, in September, Uranus goes retrograde. Now that just means it looks like it's moving backward from our view here on Earth, and it gives us all a chance to review and reflect. The main thing to remember here is just to be patient with yourself, especially in the fall. This whole process is gradual. Okay, so before Uranus even takes center stage, there are 2 other major planets doing some really important prep work behind the scenes. Saturn and Neptune are moving through the part of your chart that's all about friendships, groups, and your biggest hopes for the future. And this quote just brilliantly illustrates what that prep work feels like. You're going to find that some relationships will end, not because of some big fight, but just because their season is over. And trying to hold on, it's exactly like this quote says, uncomfortable and just out of place. It's really about learning to let go of what no longer fits. So how do these 2 planets work together? Well, think of Saturn as the realist, the tough love friend, forcing you to ask hard questions. Are these friends the real deal? Are these dreams even mine? But at the same time, you've got Neptune, which kind of adds a layer of fog, blurring the lines and making it hard to tell what's truly dear to you versus what's just familiar. They're working together to really test your foundation. The whole point of all this testing isn't to punish you, not at all. It's about purification. It might not feel glamorous, and letting go can definitely hurt. But the promise here is that whatever and whoever is left standing at the end of this process is solid, real, and true. Okay, let's zoom out to the slower, deeper shifts that are happening in the background. You've got Pluto completely reworking your worldview, while Jupiter is bringing some much-needed shifts to your financial life.
So, Pluto is on a 20-year journey, a marathon, not a sprint, through the part of your chart that deals with big ideas like philosophy, faith, and learning. Its job is to slowly dissolve all the beliefs you've picked up from other people, leaving only what is authentically yours. In 2026, this whole process gets a turbo boost, inviting you to explore your own truths, maybe by finally writing that book, or going back to school, or taking a trip that completely expands your perspective.
All right, now for something a little more down to earth. Starting June 30th, Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, moves into your second house of money and resources. This is going to bring some very practical, very welcome relief. We're talking more opportunities and a greater sense of stability. But it also comes with a crucial question. Is how you spend your money and your energy a true reflection of what you actually value? This is your chance to get it all aligned.
So we have all these big long-term things happening, but what actually ignites them? The eclipses. You got to think of them as the key turning points of 2026, the moments that will really activate and accelerate all these other themes. Here are the 4 key dates you really want to watch. And notice the pattern here, right? We've got 2 major events focused on your home life, another one all about your career, and one that's about expanding your entire world. These are the moments in 2026 when change gets very real and choices will have to be made. The first set of eclipses, happening in February and March, puts your work-life balance right in the spotlight. That vague idea of balance is going to stop being so abstract. You'll be prompted, maybe even forced, to make a real, concrete choice about how you want these 2 essential parts of your life to work together. Then, come August, the focus shifts. The big total eclipse on August 12th is all about expansion. Think travel, education, brand new horizons. Then, just a couple of weeks later, the eclipse on the 28th is about bringing powerful closure to a chapter related to your home and your emotional roots, letting you finally, truly move on. So to pull it all together, 2026 for you is really defined by these interconnected themes. You've got a massive identity shift kicking off. Your social life is going through a purification. Your core beliefs are evolving from the ground up. Your finances are getting a much needed boost. And you've got 4 major eclipses that are going to make sure everything is set in motion. And that brings us to our final thought. With all this talk about transformation and change, it's really easy to just focus on the external stuff. But the real gift of 2026, the ultimate takeaway, is this. The true destination of all this change isn't a new life, but a new kind of clarity about the one you already have. And honestly, that's the most valuable thing of all.